Alright, good evening to anybody that's checking in. Going to do a video tonight because I really want to go through a weather pattern that's going to be dynamically changing, especially Thanksgiving week. And I just want to go over a few things on how it's going to change. My last video I started to hint at this a little bit, but now I think we're starting to have more of a clear signal that where winter is really going to be coming in possibly pretty strong last week of December and Thanksgiving, possibly heading through early December. And if you recall, every time I've been talking about winter storms, there's three critical areas that you really need to have high pressure in for things to develop. And again, green and blue is low pressure areas. Anything darker colors, red, orange, are high pressure areas. And what you need to develop, and this is currently upper air pattern, you need to have high pressure over Greenland. That's called a North Atlantic oscillation. You need to have, as opposed to a big trough in the jet stream, which means jet stream sinking, you need to have a ridge over the top of this jet stream. That's called the Pacific North American pattern. Okay, that ridge in the jet stream there creates a trough over the east coast. Storms can come out of the Gulf of Mexico right up that trough through the east coast. And also it's preferable that you have high pressure going into Canada to really have this cold air dive down into that trough. Now, if you have this setup without the high pressure to the north, storms generally will either cut up into the lakes or go out to sea. But things are going to change, and you're going to see over the next few days, probably I should say after the next week, what the changes are going to be in this map. So let's take a look. Let's move ahead here. So let's now move into, we're going to go next weekend now. So you can see next weekend, this is Saturday, Sunday. If you notice, you have high pressure building here, you have that ridge I discussed building here, and you have a storm system that wants to come in from the Pacific Ocean and try to feed in over to the Gulf of Mexico. And this is something that we're going to have to watch for the week of Thanksgiving. So by the time you can see we get to Thanksgiving, this is Wednesday before Thanksgiving, you can see you have the ridging out to the west, you have a trough over the east, you have high pressure over Greenland. So all the ingredients are really going to be there for if this storm system that comes in from the ocean wants to really organize itself in the Gulf of Mexico, fades some of this northern stream cold air that's going to be coming down from Canada due to this ridge in the west coast. You could see a storm system, potentially winter, for this eastern third of the country come Thanksgiving. It's something that we're really going to have to keep an eye on, because over the last, I would say, 4 days, I've been keeping an eye on this, and the models have been consistent with, again, creating this ridge over the top here, the trough over the east coast, the blocking over Greenland, and that's just a classic setup if you have an active southern stream of the jet stream like we do to really fire up a storm system. So real quick, let me show you what the models are printing out for this. This is the European model right here. This is next weekend. So you can see all that southern stream energy is really piling into the Gulf here. And you can see by the time we get to Monday, here's a storm system trying to organize itself. You have energy coming down from Canada. And although the model doesn't fully show it now, it strings it out, there's a lot of potential for something to really organize come Thanksgiving. You can see a more consolidated coastal storm really blowing up off the East Coast, potentially giving us some problems around the holidays. Now, it's far off, so I'm not going to go ahead and start trying to predict storms at this point. The point I'm just trying to make is the pattern is very ripe for a very, very interesting setup going into Thanksgiving week. And for one, what I can pretty much guarantee is it's going to be cold. This is temperatures 1 o'clock on Tuesday before Thanksgiving. You can see high temperatures, 32 degrees, northwestern counties, mid to high 30s towards the city. And it's really going to give us that cold air to interact with that warm air coming in from the Gulf of Mexico to potentially blow up a storm system. Also today, I know if you've been following the devastating tornadoes, you can see here, this is actually, you hate to see this, this is in Washington, Illinois. F4 tornado went through there and really just devastated the area. And I think there are over 60 tornadoes reported. So that, again, that's a function of you have very, very, very cold air, as you can see here, running into very, very warm air that produces big storms, that produces tornadoes. So you could tell that through the next few weeks, all of this cold source region is going to bleed into the country, and you're potentially going to see some interesting weather patterns emerge. So we'll keep an eye on it, keep checking into the blog, and I'll update this daily and really try to zone in when we get closer to Thanksgiving week what the final setup's going to be. All right, have a good night.